everyone. The 13th Scale here, also known as Scale, and welcome back to more Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney, where I had to look over and make sure I'm still recording. Alright, the recess is over. Please bring the defendant and return to the courtroom immediately.
Oh, guess we gotta get going. We can talk about you being old later, Nick. Wish us luck.
Well, I guess I have all the pieces now, more or less. All that's left is to put it all together. I'm not gonna lose this. I can't.
Come on, Nick. Better get a move on.
Yeah. Maya doesn't notice at all that you're being extra weird, huh? Okay. September 8th, 11:54 a.m., District Court, Courtroom number 2. Court will now reconvene. Please call your next witness to the stand, Mr. Payne.
Yes, Your Honor. But before I do, if I may say a few words.
What is it, Mr. Payne?
It's about the next witness. He, has a tendency to say things that rub people the wrong way, you see. So I asked that the court might be a little lenient on...
There's no need to give a preface. Just hurry up and call your next witness, please.
Yes, Your Honor. The prosecution calls its next witness a drifter who is taking a walk in the park on the day of the murder.
Okay. Oh, it is the guy that knocked me unconscious.
Please, state your name for the court, witness.
Before I do, I'd like to clarify a little something.
Huh? Oh, all right. Go ahead.
Just now, you introduced my wonderful self to the court, correct? Perhaps a drifter who was taking a walk? You're insufferable already.
Did I?
No, I will not stand for that. Now that you've tinted the court's eyes and colored me wrongly. You entitled, self-arrogant prick. I can't wait to see you lose your entire shit in front of me in this courtroom. Sure, I suppose just a little bit of evil death. Must top quality, looking perfect, top-notch, unbeaten university, rigorous selection, walking the what?
Yes, I understand. I'm very sorry. I will be more careful from now on.
I would love... what I would think would be a fantastic quality of life upgrade for this game is if you just let me be able to go back to at least see the last 10 things said in conversation would be great.
What is he? A human chatterbox?
I gotta question him? Fashion, cars, women, glasses, and of course, university. What kind of glasses? I have a lot of doubts about 3 out of the 4 things that you've listed to me. And one of the reasons is your use of eyeliner in 2002. First rates need only apply. Glasses? But you aren't wearing any glasses. Oh my god, but the glasses match in color his suit. If he cares so much about fashion, it's gonna clearly be his glasses. That's enough. Your name, witness. Oh, is that how you want to play this? Using your power and influence to keep the young people down? I see how you work now. I can't wait for you to go to jail. You old people and your dirty tricks. You thought you had me, but you thought wrong. Phoenix, you let this braggart, who will not shut the hell up, knock you unconscious? You old people and your dirty tricks. You thought you had me, but you thought wrong. I'm sorry, it won't happen again. Judge, stop rolling over. Aw, man. I forgive you. All right, I suppose I could tell you my name. I am Richard Wellington, the drifting virtuoso with a PhD in drifting, as it were. If you wanted to, you could call me a university student in transit. I'm tired listening to you. I chose to record another episode and you're going to be insufferable. It is 11:30 at night. I have to work tomorrow at 9 a.m. You really... buddy.
Mr. Wellington, on the day of the murder, you were taking a stroll through the park, correct?
It would appear that you are attached to that word. If you must, then by all means. But I remind you that I am in no way a pubescent boy out on a walk with mommy. Then, please. Oh, virtuoso.
What were you doing? I'd like to hear the words from your own mouth.
If you must know,
Anyway, please testify to this court what you saw during your walk through the park.
See, you said it again, taking a walk. You know what? Stop trying to convince this guy to shut up. Let him keep talking. He is going to spiral himself down the drain with his arrogance and need to continue. What you witnessed will do, Mr. Wellington. Yeah, no kidding. I'm sorry that there was those cuts. My cat keeps trying to jump into my computer, and that's not going to happen. Anyway, what I saw that day. I was at the park all afternoon, deep in thought about my life situation.
Oh, really?
I don't remember the time that well, but I do believe it was past 6 p.m. Okay. All of a sudden, a police officer from above, all of a sudden a police officer falls from above, right in front of my eyes. Without a thought, I looked up, and there I met the eyes of a charming young lady. Of course, I remember her sweet face. It was that of the pretty defendant there. The only thing I saw was the banana that fell with the police officer. Banana? That was certainly a decisive testimony.
Decisive? Nick, did you hear what he just said?
Yeah.
That's all you have to say? How can you be so calm?
It's strange. My mind is very calm and clear. Maybe it's because I believe in my client.
You mean Maggie?
Yeah, Maggie. If she really is innocent, then that can only mean one thing. This guy's lying. You may now question the witness, Mr. Wright.
I suppose so. I'll find out the truth, no matter how well you craft your lies.
Well, yeah, it's because this guy's a moron. Just gonna keep pressing. I was at the park all afternoon, deep in thought about my life situation. So you were at the park all afternoon? You seem to have a lot of free time. That was very rude of you, but then again, what can I expect? That's what you get from a man who graduates from a no-name, trashy university.
No-name? Trashy?
Now, this might be hard for a mush-headed, feeble-minded baboon like you, but I have to think very carefully about the future of our great country. But I thought you said you were thinking about which college to go to just now. Oh, please. Which university I go to will directly affect the very future of this country.
Oh, that arrogant little snot. More like narcissistic POS.
Alright. I don't remember that time all that well, but I do believe it was past 6 p.m. I didn't know what time it was. I see that you're not wearing a watch, so... Is that the best you can do? Do you think you can discredit me like that? No, I just wanted to know what your reasoning was. You're just like that third-rate, biased fool. I guess I can't expect real smarts from you. Biased? His arrogance is really intolerable, so what should I do now? Press him. Answer the question. How did you know what time it was? I can't believe I have to deal with a worm like you. Objection, Your Honor, contempt of court, clearly. You're just a shallow man who can only slam on desks and point at people for fun. I guess I don't have a choice. I'll explain it so that a third-rate simpleton like you can understand. There is this little thing called a clock at the park. Did you get that? Do you know what a clock is? It's a thing that tells you the time. As you can see, Mr. Wright, even this picture of the crime scene shows 6 exactly, not 6:30. Oh, so it is. I looked at that clock and that's how I knew the time. But if you ask me, this whole concept that breaks into utter nonsense, first-rate class, wear a watch, ridiculous notion, should be free with a lifestyle without constraints. Oh, so you're telling me that wealthy people don't wear watches? At all? You know, Mr. Wellington, I think that was your name, was it? Have you ever heard of a Rolex? And you know, I would love to see yours if you have, since, you know, you're so clearly wealthy and important. A man like you would definitely have more than one Rolex, right? And you know, the real difference about a Rolex is whether or not it ticks. And then, of course, you'd be like, oh, yeah, no, I have multiple of them. I just didn't wear them today. And then you could point out that he's clearly fake wealthy than if he's owning multiple of the Rolexes, because there's a saying that called money talks, wealth whispers, where the truly wealthy people will buy a $10 watch from Walmart because they want to make that money last generationally. It's a difference in part between new money and old money, but the people who have to flaunt how much money they have aren't as rich as they're claiming to be because they feel the need to flaunt it in people's faces rather than be quiet about it like people of true wealth. Anyway, yet again, another flood of meaningless words. Talk about a first-class waste of time. In any case... God, you're annoying. All of a sudden, the police officer falls from above right in front of my eyes. And how'd you know he was a police officer? Uniform? You obviously have no idea how powerful my deductive reasoning skills are. With one glance, I could tell what kind of occupation he held. That shoddy do-it-yourself hairstyle and those cheap, low-quality shoes. Oh. So that is proof that he's new money. Oh, and I suppose he was also because he was wearing an officer's uniform. Shouldn't that statement have come first?
Wow, that's pretty impressive. Hey, Nick, do you think he's figured out what I do?
Even I haven't figured that out yet. Clearly spirit medium, man. Without a thought, I looked up, and there I met the eyes of a charming young lady. So are you sure that you got a good look at her face? Is he gonna point to the wrong person? Animals have this thing called eyes, Mr. Wright, and when they use this eye to see things, in the case of humans, we have 2 of them. Yes, even you. I don't care if I have them or not. Did you or did you not get a clear look at her face? That's what the witness was just about to get to. I would like to request that Mr. Wright not use such a loud voice during questioning. Sustained, Mr. Wright. Please refrain from raising your voice in this court. And please don't make me have to raise my voice. Are you finished? I'd like to continue if that's all right with you. Of course, I remember her sweet face. It was that of the pretty defendant over there. So, you're sure you're not mistaken? Please, don't confuse your pitiful train wreck of a life with mine. I'm what you call famous name-brand product, while you're only a cheap imitation. Yep, new money. There's no way someone as magnificent as myself could have made a mistake.
Of course, of course, of course.
Oh, of course. Did you notice anything else of interest, witness? The only thing that I saw was the banana that fell with the police officer. Banana? Well, it was actually more than just one. It was more like a bunch of bananas. Now, what would a bunch of bananas be doing there? It's the glove. Why would I know such a thing? I'm only telling you what I saw.
That's really strange. Maggie never mentioned anything about a bunch of bananas, nor did Detective Gumshoe. That's it, Nick. He's got to be lying about the bananas.
Ugh. Could be, but there's no reason for him to be lying about there being bananas at the crime scene. And what if it's not a lie?
Well, maybe he thought he was seeing one thing and it was something else.
If he mistook something else for a bunch of bananas, then that would be an inaccuracy. Think, Phoenix, think. If my client is innocent, there's no way he could have just seen what he said he did.
Which means if we can somehow prove that he's lying...
Yeah, that's exactly what we need to do. Did you read my mind? She's right. She's got a sharp mind, but I just wish I could remember who she is.
Is everything okay, Nick?
No. Okay, let's go ahead and move on down. Bunch of bananas. I'm gonna go ahead and save it before I screw this up. Okay. Present the bananas in question. Present.
Objection!
Oh, the music stopped. I guess I'm right. Mr. Wellington, I believe I have the bananas that you saw right here. Ah, so you knew about the bananas too. Why didn't you say so earlier? This is going to be really interesting as we prove that those were his glasses. But don't think you can use this as information to pull more, as a way to pull more information out of me. And that's where you'd be wrong. Mr. Wright, what is the meaning of this?
Isn't that the baseball glove?
Oh, what? A baseball glove? Yeah, doesn't it look delicious? Care for a bite? That's not... No. Yeah, Your Honor, I think this proves one very important fact. This witness has bad eyesight. By the way, just how bad are your eyes? Huh? What are you asking me about this all of a sudden?
Your Honor, it's very simple to mistake a glove for a bunch of bananas.
No, it's not. No, I don't think so. Objection overruled. You're one of those people. Yes, you know what I mean. You're like those people who refuse to accept Galileo's theory of impossibilities. Sure, in the end, if bananas the glove viewed from afar, how could you not tell? And that's why I asked you how bad your eyesight is. They're both 20/20. I suppose you're going to tell me that's terrible, right? Why are you not wearing your glasses today, then? That's because I lost them recently, you see. Of course, I was planning on getting a new pair made right away. And see, that's that new money thing again. Old money will have a cheap pair ready to go. But you know, my glasses are no ordinary glasses, so to replace them... How about when you witnessed the crime? Were you wearing your glasses then? That's a no. How about it, witness? Oh, you are an unrelenting evil man. You are just like those people who attacked Joan of Arc. She was courageous and she did nothing wrong to be gruesomely burned at the... Shut the fuck up. Which boils down to... You were not wearing your glasses at that time, yes? Therefore, the identity of the woman at the crime scene and that of the defendant cannot be proven to be the same witness. But the height difference was only 9 feet. It was very possible for him to see the face of the culprit standing on the upper path. Witness, please be more accurate with your testimony. Remember that a person's life is at stake. Yes, Your Honor. Now then, please continue with your testimony.
Please tell the court what happened next in the moments that you witnessed the crime.
What happened next? The girl on the upper path ran away as soon as she realized I was there. After that, I immediately called the police station to report the crime. It must have been 6:45 when I made that call. Okay, that does still check. They must have had a lot of free time on their hands since they showed up within 10 minutes. Or they were close by because they were out for a walk. So the person who was on the upper path saw you and then ran away. Yes, that is correct. Which is why even someone with a superior brain like mine can understand that the girl is the murderer. Not necessarily. You may question the witness now, Mr. Wright. Thank you. What happened next? Let's press. The girl on the upper path ran away as soon as she realized I was there. So she ran away, just like that, huh? Yes, she did. She saw me and flew the nest like a guilty bird that she is. I see. We're going back with the bird puns. Oh, I'm sorry. Was that pun too hard for someone with only a third-rate education? Actually, that did take me a few seconds to get. Anyway, if she ran away the instant she saw you, how could you tell it was my client? The witness has already answered that question. He has stated that the defendant is the culprit. This is true, Mr. Wright. I'm striking your question from the record. How could I get more information out of him? I'll have to press a little bit with some evidence. After that, I immediately called the police station to report the crime. Immediately, as in immediately. I mean, sure, a minute might have elapsed before I did that, but if you made the call at 45 and he died at 38, clearly a couple more minutes than that passed. That's the duty of every good citizen. Or did they not teach you that at your pitiful school? You think people learn about how to call the police in college? Hey, Nick, I think you should take a look at the court record a sec. Huh? I will when I get done pressing him. It must have been 6:45 when I made that call. How do you know what time it was? The detective told me. You know which one I mean. The one with the jacket that makes him look like a dropout from a no-name high school. Hey, pal, I graduated from a pretty good, a top-ranked college. I don't believe this. It doesn't matter. I don't believe I was mistaken on what time I was called. Or that I had called. And if I'm wrong, then that detective obviously doesn't know how to tell time. What? Why you're just a lousy kid who... Gumshoe. I think the court can see your point. Anyway, how did the police respond? They must have a lot of free time on their hands since they showed up within 10 minutes. So you're saying that there were police on the scene by 7 p.m.? They got there before that, I think. There usually aren't many people in that area at that time of day, but suddenly, before I knew it, there were people crawling all over, gawking. It certainly says something about the morals of people in this country. I can't find anything out of the ordinary with this testimony. I need to take one more look at the court record. Yeah, I guess I should. I could press him with the time. Okay. Can I check this? No. His hand, path. There we go. Yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and present that here. Mr. Wellington, would you please take a look at this? You mean the victim's autopsy report. According to this, the murder occurred at 6:28 p.m. So what of it? Well, you said that you called the police immediately after the murder took place. However, by the time that you had called the police, it was already 6:45 p.m. There's clearly a 15-minute gap here. Do you deny it? I think this court would like to hear what you were doing during this 15-minute gap. I would. The witness is in shock at the time after witnessing a terrible murder. It's only expected that he would be a little dazed. Okay. 15 minutes is hardly what I would call a little dazed. Mr. Wellington? Yes? Explain yourself. What were you doing during those 15 minutes? Answer the question. Telephone, spit it out. I was searching for a phone booth. A phone booth? You mean you don't have a cell phone? Yeah, somebody so high of your stature? You and your questions. As if you're trying to open all of the layers of, Matroskia doll. You must think that you're something really special. Witness. I lost my cell phone. There, are you happy? You lost it? Huh. Unbelievable. You lose your glasses and your cell phone. You must have been very scatterbrained when it comes to your belongings. What? Are you saying that first-rate people are never allowed to lose things? Haven't you ever heard of a strange genius rationale? I don't think it's plain simple that people can untwist enough. And that enough is where we're saving it. I gave us a little bit more time to counterbalance my cat trying to crawl all over my desk. Either way, that's all the time we got, so I'll see you guys in the outro. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the outro. Yeah, that Richard Wellington dude ticks me off. By the way, I do want to preface this now that we're in the outro. There's nothing wrong with being poor or being of new money. And there's not really anything wrong with flaunting your wealth, so long as you're doing it in a way that's safe and you're not going to get yourself robbed, right? But this specific guy, there's only so many ways that you could insult him that clearly shakes his ego. His entire persona is being wealthy and of high status and being a guy who goes to these great things, So to him, the greatest insult in the world would be going to a community college and being poor. And to be honest with you, being able to go to a community college is an incredible feat, especially for quite a lot of people. It takes a lot of dedication, time, energy, money, and effort to be able to go to a community college. It's just, it would be like calling a Steelers fan a Browns fan just to tick them off. There's nothing wrong with the Cleveland Browns, but you can't think of any better way to insult a Steelers fan, can you? Or, tell an Ohioan that they like Michigan better. Or if you really want to tick somebody off in Cleveland, accuse them of being a Baltimore fan. The Cleveland Browns lost most of their team to the Baltimore Ravens like decades ago, and nobody in Cleveland has shut up about it since. They claim that every single win that ever happened on Baltimore's end was because they stole Cleveland's team. And it's been decades. This happened, I'm pretty sure, before I was alive, and they still haven't shut the hell up about it. So if you wanted to tick off a Cleveland Browns fan, you'd call him a Baltimore Ravens fan. There's nothing wrong with the Ravens, except that you stole our team. Look, there's the obligated Clevelander in me right there for you. So yeah, again, there is nothing at all wrong with being of low income or of being of new money or flaunting your wealth. None of those things. I just couldn't think of any better way to insult a dude that ticked me off than picking at his insecurities over and over and over again. Kind of like a mean kid. I apologize. Either way, as for what the everything recommended around here is, algorithm picks, next part or something I think you'll like in the meantime. I thought about this one a little bit. Venba. I figured we'd end on a different kind of emotionally complicated note. Venba was a very short series. I think it was either like 4 or 6 episodes. It was a short one, but it has some really, really, really good dishes that it shows you how to make and has you go through the process of making them. It's a very emotional story about a man's complicated relationship between his culture, his food, and his parents, and as well as, the problems that stem from both racism and xenophobia. And it talks about them in a way that, well, when I finished recording it, I called my mom to tell her that I love her, and then I started off that phone call with, "Hi, Mom," and she goes, "What's wrong? What do you want? What's on fire?" It's like, "Can I just call you to tell you that I love you?" And she's like, "No, you can't." "What's wrong?" And then I proceeded to tell her what the game was about and why it left me in tears, and so you could tell that she actually rather enjoyed the phone call. So yeah, check out Venba. It didn't get a whole lot of clicks when I put it out, but it was also a very small indie title. So, yeah, maybe go learn to make some good dishes from that. And I will see you guys next time. Take care, everybody.